It's Enter Sandman time here inside the castle. A young and exciting Virginia Tech team trying to pull an upset while North Carolina looks to keep its NCAA at-large hopes alive. The Heels and the Hokies on a Tuesday night for Blacksburg. Kevin Brown, John Crispin, thanks for spending. Clarence Armstrong's going to throw it up. Ben Allen Lubin beats Malijal Poteet for the tip. Ted Valentine, A.J. Desai are other officials. And it's Elliot Cadeau and the Tar Heels with the ball first. 12-6 in the ACC with 2 to go. This one and then Saturday at home to Duke. And a great start. Cadeau feeds Lubin, who had a season-high 19 on Saturday. Starting 5 for the Hokies without Lowell. It's Burnham and Poteet 4 in the 5. Ben Hammond and Jaden Young coming off spectacular games against Syracuse and the freshman Tyler Johnson. It's a team with 10 freshmen and sophomores. They've gotten better as the season's gone along. Here's Young, who scored 20 plus 2 of the last 3, leaves it long, and here
he's only going to turn the corner and create. He's not looking to shoot.
Virginia Tech nearly turns it over. They struggle mightily in that category. Worst turnover team in the ACC. But they get a good look for Hammond from 3. And the freshman from Fairfax gets Tech on the board.
It's good to establish that early, that you can recognize where the double's going to come from and find the open man, and good by Hammond to be ready to shoot.
They've been a really good three-point shooting team in conference play. Powell set up by Cadeau. It's 2 assists for Cadeau.
Right? Negative is contagious, good is infectious. Drake Powell has an infectious energy on this game.
38% three-point shooter. What could be his only college year. Davis with a pull-up pop, and Carolina hits back-to-back from deep.
The toughest thing for Virginia Tech is you gave up an opening play, scripted play. I would almost just run a weird zone if teams are going to script out plays, right? Bruce Pearl scripts out the first play, and they often get it.
Step back, Jaden Young.
Percentage from 3, and typically he takes really good shots. That's a tough shot to make as you're kind of backing out to the three-point line with no balance.
Virginia Tech coming off a 101-95 overtime win, and Young was hot in that game, and he is hot to start this one. 5 points on the last 2 possessions.
It's good to see the energy from the bench, too. Smiles on the court, smiles on the bench. Everybody's happy for one another. Given how challenging this season is, it's nice to see that positivity.
Lubin rolls it out to Powell. Davis with a switch on the big man Poteet will pass out of it, get it back from Cadeau. RJ with a step back deep one. It's good. RJ Davis in. Current standings in Tech, they could be in the 8-9 game. They could be 13 seed. Who knows? There's still so much to figure out. But they will be there. 15 teams make it. 3 are left out. Inside the first touch, a basket for
super hard. Like, it's so frustrating. You get established in the game, you play your position, then the backup big comes in and just outworks you.
They could pop Burnham from Young, and Virginia Tech's back on top. Their third 3 of the night.
Well, they drag that ball screen action all the way down towards the baseline, so it just gets that defense to sag into a help position, and Burnham's right there on the pop.
Tar Heels spread it out. Davis gets the switch, loses the dribble. Back into the corner for Trimble. Multiple 3s in 2 straight, and his first shot.
They're going to be. He's such a great coach and a wonderful human being.
Rechsteiner taken away by Trimble at the rim. And Trimble fed by Cadeau, and he finishes strong over the 7-foot Wessler.
That's
6'3", playing well above his height. He is their leading rebounder. 16-13, the Tar Heel lead. Here's Young. A lot of shots for him early. Johnson, terrific offensive rebounder, is fouled on the way up. Hubert Davis frustrates in that game. They've hit 53s in the last 5. Simple question.
Do you want that answer now, or do you want to get me to get back to it? Look, it's something as simple as rhythm in the game. When you're a smaller team, you create rhythm off the bounce by moving the basketball. You've got to limit turnovers. That's number 1. They've been able to do that a little bit better. That was a great play by Elliot Cadeau, but at times turnovers are an issue.
Both games streaming on the ESPN app as well.
Something feisty always happens in Arizona State, Arizona.
Yes. Doesn't matter how good the teams are. The Wildcats are much better than the Sun Devils this year, meeting as big.
The play Cadeau has to continue to make. Just simple attack, hit the open man. That's a high percentage look.
Off a hard Poteet screen, Shute sets up Burnham. His jumper contested by Withers, and it found its way to Johnson. A beautiful accident. Has had a couple of successful broken plays tonight. Davis and Cadeau with Trimble, Withers, and Lubin. Washington picked up his second foul going to the last break. Trimble feeds Lubin. He is fouled with a basket. And a chance for three. Portland. He was 9 for 10 from the field in that win Saturday. And Burnham, I'm not sure he needed to do that. He saved it right to Trimble. Cadeau way too strong on a three. And
you don't have to be a five-star guy. You just have to have the willingness to learn how to make the game easier for you and everybody else, which means learn how to rely on others. Sometimes the best talent, they don't know how to rely on others.
Burnham, strong drive to tie the game. That's a kid who has a great feel for the game, partly developed at Charleston under Pat Kelsey. And here's Johnson, who is fouled by Cadeau, picking up two. Are sick of seeing this. They've seen it a lot. They're 1 and 10 in quad one, separated into 4 quadrants. And quad one, but they probably have to win one more.
I think they're playing well enough to do that. The challenge is if it's going to be Duke, that's a great challenge.
Down the floor for Jackson as layup ties him.
The question to you is, between Auburn and Duke right now, best basketball earlier than Duke, but Duke has since figured out how to kind of maximize Cooper Flagg and everything else around him.
Knocked away from Young. Here's Davis. And a nice little handoff to Powell for a Tar Heel lead.
Virginia Tech's got to be careful not to let this get away from them. They've done a great in that whole crew, but they lost 2.
Here's Poteet, left it short. A team that almost lost to Virginia Tech, I believe, before Michigan State took them down in the Elite Eight. Davis on the drive, his first points in over 11 minutes after the early couple of threes.
Oh, you talk about that Duke team, they almost lost to UCF.
Yes, I think Virginia Tech was the game after that, though, and then Michigan State got him. Inside Young, great cut, good find from Burnham.
They opened up the whole right side of the floor, and Trimble tried to take the pass away with no help behind him.
Young's got 7. Davis, off balance, takes the bump from Rechsteiner. And the best free throw shooter in Carolina.
That pass away. So situational fundamentals.
R.J. Davis, 88%.
The thing is, he's been here. Right? Like, there are some guys that...
And this Chapel Hill community is going to remember R.J. Davis for a long time. On the floor, that's taken away by Davis right in front of his bench. Trimble on the drive, knifing through, and he draws a foul. I know, but he can hear. Look at his big flop. Confirm or deny.
Yeah.
2 free throws for Trimble.
Carolina to make it a full court game. Now, like young teams, I think we know they can score, but it's not just about tempo and pace. They pace you on the offensive end, but they can do it in the half court. It's their ability to operate that makes them so good.
Nice takedown and score by Poteet. Bucky Hepburn and J.J. Starling, Marcus Burton, and now R.J. Davis, and he's played really well. Poteet back from shoot. Hard drive, and Poteet's fouled again. Elijah Poteet getting up close and personal.
Some easy baskets for Carolina that they're probably leading in this game. And there are some good teams that you struggle to like, and that sounds mean, but what I mean is, do I like how they play? Are they connected? Do they have good body language? Do they care for one another? Like, do they try to seek out opportunities for their teammates? Like, that's what you look for, and this is a group that does that.
Good screen by Lubin. He frees Davis, his third 3. Hubert Davis' Tar Heels looking for a season-high 6th straight win. Davis.
Good defense.
That's the true freshman Hammond, who now switches on to Jackson. big height advantage. Results in a step-back three.
That's the problem with really good shooters.
With 3 steals Saturday. Hammond turns it right back over, though. Down the floor to Jackson, and his miss is cleaned up by Lubin.
Deterrent. But Lubin's been really good on the offensive end. It kind of complements the whole threat offensively.
Well, this lineup is just a death squad right now for Carolina. Davis off the turnover, bangs it home. He's got 15, and it's a 10-0 Carolina surge.
I just think a big part of this 5-game stretch is R.J. Davis having the ball in his hands more often. And I think Elliot Cadeau's got significant value, but not at the top of the key. That flattens the defense. Made good decisions.
Foul was the second on Jackson. Hammond misses a 1-and-1, and then Johnson lost the rebound. It's Cade Tyson on the floor for the first time. Trimble sensing a lane, finishes, gets fouled, and continues this runaway Tar Heel train.
He's one
First. And Seth Trimble makes it 13 in a row.
This is a challenge here for Hammond. You know, you got to initiate, you got to get him into some sort of offense, get a good possession. But Carolina picking up full court pressure, which I love. I think they should do more often.
Burnham driving it in on Tyson, who's called for a foul reaching in there. Florida State in the win last Monday. Remember, he was expected to be their big three-point shooter. Lingering in the corner right now. Will step up to the wing with 6 to shoot. Up for Trimble. Had a huge first half. And that three is deep, but grabbed by Lubin. Dying seconds of the first half. Trimble with the punctuation mark on a 15-1 surge into the locker room.
A really impressive run for North Carolina. This was a really tight game. Up, keep pace on the game, and maintain the rhythm you created in a great first half performance.
25-8 after his second foul. Burnham gets a clean look, clanks a three. Poteet has it taken away by Elliot Cadeau. And Cadeau charges down the floor, and he inserts himself into the proceeding. 6+ minutes at this point.
This is the problem. It stops, and it's just going to get easy to defend.
And to Drake Powell, he's rejected, but a foul is called. You've heard of Rihanna, right?
I do know.
I'm not either. I'm worried about what you did in the last 2 years.
Pretty much.
Powell hits
We're
both
pretty.
Hammond's been really held in check after a career-high 21 against Syracuse Saturday. Burnham slithering around Lubin. Second time he's done that.
I tell you, the sit-downs there, when you get it inside the paint, whether you get a layup or not, you just sit down, good things happen.
Cadeau, Lubin, and Withers.
If I'm covering Cadeau and there's a ball screen or any action that brings 2 games either, so just to make Taylor Swift feel better.
Well, we found your only 2 blind spots.
Hate that I got the reference.
Inside to Young, he's fouled on the way up.
See, Virginia Tech has the ability to operate and get good shots, and a lot of ways it'll give the other guy the opportunity to do something. Someone else who has the responsibility of another gap to actually make the play. So there's trust in Luke Cadeau on the floor. When he keeps getting the ball up top, the defense sags, and it's going to get harder to get good shots.
Davis out of the double. Lubin spinning and scoring.
And when Lubin's another one who's been a little bit more deliberate. Great teams there. Carolina's playing better as of late, but you just look at the overall resume. It's just a challenge, and I think they played some of the toughest games early when they hadn't yet known who they are.
There's the first 4 out, the next 4 out. There's a nice pass.
It's going to take a while to figure out who they are and how to play, and let alone how to win at this level.
Softer bubble. I know people say that every year, but it really is a softer bubble this year. And Carolina only has 1 loss in the bottom 3 quadrants, which is a 1-point home loss to Stanford. Recksteiner for 3, that's a round and out. They played a very challenging non-conference. They are playing really well down the stretch. I wonder if they get more grace for the lack of bad losses and for the way they're playing down the stretch if they finish the season strong.
Do you have a problem as Washington hits? Do you have a problem if they get in, and in a way, part of why they got in is because well as of late. I think who you are as of late matters more than anything else.
I agree, and that criteria is not listed criteria for the selection committee anymore. It used to be. Jackson buries another three, so you have Washington with his fourth of the year. Jackson to turn it. What do you like about him off the bench?
Energy, explosiveness.
Oh, Jackson, my goodness.
Because Carolina's better when he's out there. Great spacer.
He is 16 for 25 from three over the last 6. Withers cans another. 11 for 20 from three, North Carolina tonight.
Look, they've gotten some help in the sense that, Miami, not a great defensive team, particularly defending the three. Syracuse going to give up a lot of points. Been able to create rhythm.
Trimble is fouled. I mean, it's threes and layups right now for Carolina.
Defend for a full 30. It's not that fake offense for the first 10 seconds. It is cool.
64th season, Castle Coliseum. Part of the reason that it would be great to see Virginia Tech build a winning program again, which they're not far from room from doing, is this place can get so loud when it gets packed. Knocked away, Trimble, back from Cadeau. Look out below! Ian Jackson had a freeze frame, hands raised to the ceiling fans here at the Castle before Trimble was even fully on the way up. It's a 15-0 Carolina run, and Young ends it.
Trimble has
40% from three for Ian Jackson, freshman from the Bronx. Number 7 in the ESPN 100, came into college with a lot of hype. He certainly lived up to it most of the year. Jaden Shoot with a three for Tech out of time. Tech's bench 32-5. Tortured Hokies department most of the night here in Blacksburg, and Powell adds to it the 12th North Carolina three.
Drake Prowse just scratching the surface to how good he can be. Really develop his footwork a little bit better and shot preparation to get those shots off quicker. Huge ceiling in his game.
Johnson missed it and is cleaned up by Wessler. So back-to-back bench buckets. Remember, Virginia Tech without Toby Lowell tonight.
It mixes up your rotations.
And some of the players who scored those points off the bench the last 3, they're starting today as well. Jackson fouled on the way up.
That would be part of mixing up your rotations.
Yeah.
What a bad toe will do to you.
Do you feel it on your release? Does it hurt you on your shot?
The toe?
Yeah.
It's the whole idea of basketball and the fluidity of the game is you don't want to think.
Wessler inside. To quote the Taylor Swift of his time, don't think twice, it's all right. Well, I hope it was happy to be there. Wessler at the line.
I bet they were
Academy Award for Best Actor.
I'm so glad you said his name. I now know how to pronounce it.
What? It's Adrian Brody.
No, didn't it be Chalamet?
You got to pronounce it like Adam Sandler did. Chalamet.
I didn't actually watch.
Jackson, Powell, another.
Nice.
Please serve.
Man almighty.
13 for 24. Carolina's tied a season high for threes.
58+% from the field and 4% from three. And the position they're in on the defensive end for rebounding. Look out.
Lubin up top from Cadeau. First Carolina double-double for Van Allen Lubin.
Carolina's been impressive. I mean, yes, it's frustrating if you're Virginia Tech and they're down. Oh, boy, why not?
Wessler, his first three-point attempt of the year.
I would have loved it if he pulled out the Archer or something.
And this is the game before the Duke game, which sometimes can be a little bit wonky. Carolina and Duke players will tell you, you try not to look ahead to that big game. Duke certainly didn't last night. They bludgeoned Wake.
Well, like, who you are as of late matters more today than it ever has because most teams don't know who they are until 2 months into the season. And then you want to try to find a rhythm and get better, and that's what they've done.
Hey, Connor Servant in his 16th game of the year just scored his first points.
Just appreciate this Virginia Tech team, young group. They played hard, they fought, and then they've been dealing with this.
Jackson's 5th three of the game.
Just knew it was going in. Like, as soon as he caught and released, I'm like, if Young's not there on the catch,
Burnham.
you get what I'm saying, though. We watch film on other teams, and you see guys like Isaiah Evans and Ian Jackson make these tough shots.
Inside to Servant. Now all he does is score.
And then become willing passers. It's just harder. Duke's length defensively. Just hit a close-up passing lane so quickly.
Jackson, come on. In and out. And great job by Tyson soaring in there for the rebound. He gets it back, and he sticks a three.
I tell you, if Cade Tyson found...
And Brown is denied by Burnham.
A good recovery by Burnham.
Yeah, a couple of blocks for him tonight. Hammond. Double figures, 5 players. Double figure assists. Cadeau with 12 of them. The third team out of Joe Lunardi's projected field. This could be a big day to make a move. There are a lot of bubble teams in action with tough games. As that's put home by triple. They had a big win at Texas on Saturday. Baylor down 2 near the end of the first half against TCU. Baylor quietly has slipped down to the bubble. Not a lot of great wins for Scott Drew's Bears this year. Hey, there's Rodney Brown Jr. His first game.
I actually think it better prepares the teams that just get in from the SEC because they've seen the best and sweat very little.
Yep.
Does that make sense? Logic behind it.
Georgia, Arkansas on that boat. Tyson slashes into the defense, scores.
Thought we were crazy, but we had beaten Illinois early in the season. They were a top 5 team. We had beat Michigan State. They were a top 10 team at the time. Beat Kentucky when they were a top 10 team. So we felt as if we could play with anyone. And I think it gave us confidence once we got in.
Pennsylvania's in there. Connor Venable, sophomore as well. So walk-on's getting some run. Carolina trying to get to 90 again. Inside to Ty Claw, there you go. They've been averaging 91 a game in the last 5 2 weeks and get there. Brown sets up Carr and he airballs a 3.
I think a lot of that comes down to what happens around that bubble. Hard to expect Carolina to beat Duke. I just think Duke is that good right now. Game's fluid. Next year could be completely different.
A lot of bubble watching tonight for North Carolina, and they can watch in peace. This was another flat-out dominant display. North Carolina shoots 64% in the second half, 59% in the game. Wins it 91-59, and the Tar Heels have put up 90 in 3 straight